Two AAC teams will face off against each other on Thursday as the Tulane Green Wave travel to Chapman Stadium to take on the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes. Tulane enters the game with a 5-4 record after beating Army by 26 points at home last week, while Tulsa enters this game with a 4-1 record after beating SMU by 4 points at home last week. This will be the 17th meeting between both teams. The line for this contest has tightened up somewhat during the course of the week. Tulsa opened as a 6.5 point favorite when the line came out, but as of Friday afternoon, the Golden Hurricanes sit as a 5.5 or 6 point favorite, depending on the book. 60% of the bets ATS are backing Tulane at home, giving the points in this contest. The total for the contest has stayed relatively constant during the course of the week. After opening at 55 points, the total currently stands at 54.5 or 55, depending on the book, as of today. A solid 65% of the bets on the total for this contest expect the game to go over the mark. As far as the weather goes, it looks like a solid day for football in the Sooner State for mid-November, as temperature at kickoff is projected to be around the high 60s under mostly clear skies. The temperature will fall into the low 60s as the game continues, but there is no precipitation in the forecast for the evening. Winds could prove to be a bit of a factor as they come from the south at 16 miles per hour, with wind gusts kicking up around 27 miles per hour. Tulane has looked like a slightly above average football team in the conference this season, as it has won 5 of its first 9 games. The Green Wave started this season off poorly, as it lost 4 of its first 6 games before winning each of its last 3, including this past weekend against Army. In that game, Tulane's defense was amazing as it only allowed 12 points along with just 303 total yards on offense en route to a 26-point victory. Leading the way for Tulane's offense was quarterback Michael Pratt, who had 2 passing touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Now the Green will be looking to stay above 500 with a conference road game up next. Tulane's offense has been fantastic this season as it's currently ranked 28th in the nation with 36.7 points per game. In addition, the Green Wave are averaging 224.1 rushing yards per game, which is the 19th most in the nation, as they have been able to move the ball with ease on the ground with no resistance. Following last week's victory, Tulane coach Willie Fritz commented about how one of the Army coaches ended up energizing the Green Wave. "We had a great week of practice, but I was a little worried before the game. Our guys just seemed kind of down and dead when we got out there in warm-ups, and luckily, one of their coaches ran through the middle of us when we were trying to warm up. It was about 30 guys, and he was trying to knock our guys over. It fired up our guys. They came in the locker room and we were ready to play, so I appreciate that." Tulsa has won 4 of its first 5 games and is coming off a strong come-from-behind win over SMU last week. The Golden Hurricanes also enter this game in the middle of a 4-game winning streak after defeating SMU at home by 4 points last weekend. In that game, Tulsa trailed by 17 points at halftime before pitching a second-half shutdown, which helped the Golden Hurricanes rally from behind. Leading Tulsa offensively was quarterback Zach Smith, who had 325 passing yards along with 3 passing touchdowns. Now Tulsa will be looking to win its 5th straight game with another conference home game up next. Tulsa's defense has been amazing this season, as it currently ranks 27th in the nation, with 21.8 points allowed per game. In addition, the Golden Hurricanes are allowing just 133 rushing yards per game, which is the 36th fewest in the nation, as they have been great at winning battles within the trenches, which will be very important for this matchup. Following last week's victory, Tulsa coach Philip Montgomery commented about how his team continued to fight for all 60 minutes, despite a terrible start to the game. "I'm really proud of our players, the way they fight, the way they stay together through adversity, through thick and thin. They're resilient with the way they play. Obviously, they're trying to give their coach a heart attack." Alright, so Tulsa's continued to look like one of the best teams in the conference, while Tulane had looked average, so I think that there is a talent disparity present within this matchup. Tulsa enters this game following a huge comeback victory against a ranked opponent, and I think that some of that momentum will carry over into this game. While Tulane has looked better lately, it has had an extremely easy schedule over the past 3 games, so I think that the Green Wave are not as good as their record indicates. As a result, I think that Tulsa should win this home game by at least 7 points. So we're getting it at Tulsa -6. So the pick, let's go Tulsa -6 to beat Tulane in this contest. Thanks all for watching, and please do give a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe.